Hello everyone, it's Leprechaun here. Today I'm going to show you guys the new beta update that they've actually launched for this new game Eden Star. So starting out, load up the game. Real quick, if you're unable to load the update, I'll just tell you guys real quick how to get it. So when you download the game Eden Star, the normal playing mode is just on that island kind of looking map. It kind of looks like a desert with the three main materials, Ironite, Ceruleum, and Tennel. That's actually not as fun as the new update stuff that they've released, which is going to be found by going to right-clicking on Eden Star, the game, and navigating over to the beta section and opting in for the new beta, and that will start the download for the update. So that's how you get into this new updated added feature spot. So once you've got that done, we're going to go ahead and go on the load screen here. When you hop in, it's gonna show you regions of deployment, and honestly, my favorite place to deploy is right up on Onyx Shelf, up at the top of the map. You guys can go anywhere you want, but I've noticed that in my time playing that there's a lot more materials up here in Onyx Shelf than anywhere else. So I'll go ahead and deploy up here. Alright, and it'll spawn you in any random area of that spot. Just somewhere around there. Here, look at my map. Hit the M button and that will pull up your map of where you've spawned. And you can see your little arrow there and it'll show you where you are. Okay? Alright. So this is a bit of a new map for sure. They've added a lot of new materials, a lot of new features. Really cool. Real quick, before you get started in the game, it's going to come up with settings, or world settings, for your particular Eden Star world. And you can kind of tweak them a little bit, so that way you can play the game how you want to play, which I really enjoy, because the game is obviously still an alpha. You know, it's early access. They're wanting to get feedback from players, so that's really nice. You got your day cycle length, your daytime ratio, harvest yield, and you can tweak that all to be how you want. And if you're curious about what some of this stuff is, you can just hover over it and it'll show you a nice little white message telling you exactly what it does. So I've bumped up the harvest yield as well as the mining speed just to speed things up again. But in all honesty, almost all of this stuff I haven't messed around with just because, you know, I'm mostly log vanilla playing and you don't want to get too far away from what the game's all about. So I've left most of it to default as far as damages and how much the enemy can hurt you and all of the structure stuff as well as the AI. But it's up to you how you want to play, so just play how you want to play. So, go ahead, you spawn out. The first thing you're going to want to learn how to do is obviously to gather resources. Really easy, you start out with your first module. You're just going to right click, that's real easy. And you walk up to something, you just right click on it, and it starts breaking it down into these minerals. And if you're curious as to what's in it, just look at it for a while, and it'll show you the percentage of what material is in that particular object, whether it's a rock, a tree, or a bush. Just stop, look at it, and it'll tell you. Really simple, really nice. Alternatively, I'll go ahead and go through the HUD real quick actually, on the main screen here. So, on the bottom left is your health, the plus sign with the heartbeat monitor. That obviously shows you how much health you got left and how close you are to dying. Yeah, you got to keep an eye on that. Don't want to die unless you've got a respawn location set up. Above that, you've got your stamina, which decreases obviously from sprinting. The way you sprint is you hit the left shift button. That's going to allow you to sprint around, and that'll lose that. Above that, you have your hunger, which is obviously, like it suggests, your food. Your character's got to eat to survive, obviously. And above that is water. Same principle. Shouldn't need any explanation. And the way you're going to be able to state that is with food and objects found around the map. That's going to help you out with those. And then above that, you got your O2. Your O2 is obviously going to decrease by swimming around underwater. Because, hey, you're a human being. Alright, so now that we've got the basic HUD out, also up top left, you've got your nighttime monitor. It's essentially a countdown for when the sun is going to drop and when it's going to be nighttime. Nighttime is when all the baddies come out, so you kind of got to be prepared in a way for nighttime. So it's nice to keep an eye up there and make sure that you've got enough time for whatever you want to do before nighttime comes and you get attacked. Above that, you've got your compass, so that way you can figure out which direction you're going, south, west, north, and so forth. Very important to have. And then on the bottom, you got your quick slots with the numbered keys 1 through 0. And all what you got to do to access whatever you're looking for is just press the numbered key. For example, I've got a gun over here in my 4th slot. I hit the 4 button, and there we go. There's my gun. Real easy. Right, another thing, let's figure out how to pull out inventory and work around the inventory. So, the game automatically maps the inventory to the I button. I personally don't like that, because the I button's far away to constantly be jumping to, because you're always going to be using your inventory, right? So, what I do is I map it to the tab button. And it's really easy to change your key bindings based on the way that you like to play. Just go to options in the escape menu, and just scroll down until you come across inventory, at which point you can just excuse me, at which point you can just click on it and click edit, and you add whatever key you want, and boom, there we go, tab. It's a open UI menu. Really easy. So we'll hop back out and we'll hit tab and we'll pull up inventory. On the left here is your survivor. Next to it is all of the armor that is available to put on. For example, I've got some armor, I'll show you. Got the mask, and if you hover over the armor, it'll show you its stats. For example, I've got the Cybermancer armor, which gives you shields, which is really handy. So we'll just go ahead and add all of my armor in all the slots, and I'll show you guys once I escape out of here that the armor is actually showing up on my screen. And there you go. Your survivors, or your colonist, as they call them, has armor now, along with the stats. Also, my food and my water are a bit low, so we'll go ahead and eat some food, which is called morsels. You can also cook it into cooked meat as well, and other more complex stuff. And then water. You're going to have to keep an eye on that to make sure that your colonist survives. Don't want your colonist dying out of stupid stuff like that. And of course, all your raw material is going to be stored here as well. Up here at the top right, this is if you're looking for a particular item. You have your weapons, your modules, your armor, your bullets, your that would be your minerals or building crafting items. That would be consumables, and this is also another consumable for health, actually, like med packs and so forth. Over here on your bottom is going to be your quick slots, so you can assign whatever you want to these quick slots down here, the way you like them. Really nice to have. Like, we can put my water down there, and can also put my food down there. So all what I got to do now is press 6 or 7, and that'll pull up the food and the water there. Real handy, real handy. Alright, let's go ahead, go over resource gathering. Real simple, just walk up to an object and right click like I was saying before. And of course I've got the mining speed turned way up, so it's not going to be this fast if you have the vanilla experience going on. But you'll just start gathering materials that you can build with. And we'll go ahead and gather this rock nerd real quick, and I'll show you guys some basics of building. It is getting close to nightfall soon, but since I haven't set up my base yet, there's not going to be a lot of enemies attacking, so I still should be able to explain pretty well to you guys the HUD for the actual building apparatus. It's really simple though. So once you've gathered materials, all that you got to do is hit the Q button, and that will pull up your crafting menu. Alright, go ahead and do that real quick. Q. Alright, so first things first, you're going to start out in the utilities section. The way that you navigate between categories is you click the middle mouse wheel, and it'll move you through those. So we'll start with utilities, and then in order to change what of that particular item you want to build, you just scroll up or down. Really simple. Not difficult at all. Scroll up. So here's your Eden kit. That's your basic thing that you're going to start out building with, obviously. And you've got your generators for power, a lockbox, replication unit for respawning, fabricator for making materials, and then you've also got your armory for making more complex materials. Alright, and then over here in defenses, you've got your turrets and your laser posts, or your laser fences that you can make. And so on and so forth through the categories. It's not difficult to figure out. Foundations, like it suggests, is going to have, you know, your basics found building blocks, your corners, and so forth. Primitives is going to be all your other base building stuff. Your walls, your doorways, your corners, your ceilings, your stairs, and all of that complex stuff. Really easy to navigate. Alternatively, in the left screen over there, you can actually change what material some of your buildings are made of. All what you got to do is hit the control button and scroll up or down, and that will change what material that is going to be made of. That's nice if you don't have a lot of a particular material, but the only trade-off is obviously the cheaper the material is to make, the less hit points that particular structure is going to have. So you kind of got to balance that in a way. But starting out, it makes sense, you know. Starting out, the cheaper materials that are easy to gather, you know, you can have a lot of. You don't want them to be too impressive, otherwise people won't ever try to get the better materials and actually work for the better materials. So that makes sense to me. Alright, so that's pretty much the crafting menu. Kind of just show you guys real quick. Perfect. Show you guys some combat real quick. So with the module that you use to for mining, you can right click and that will suspend an object in the air. And based on where you move your mouse wand, that's actually where you're going to throw them with this cool kinetic throw. Really cool. Blast them off into wherever that is. The abyss, I suppose. So that's kind of cool. And then alternatively, also, if you left click, it's going to do a blast. Now that blast uses up energy, but it's really handy because it knocks them back and it knocks them to the ground. So you can just keep blasting them until they're dead. So that wasn't too hard. And then also, if you're not into using the module to take out enemies, you can actually use a blade. And that is equipped by the E button, I believe. I actually changed it to the R button because I used the E button for the activate uses. So the blade's really useful. Kills them a lot quicker instead of just smashing them. So there's a couple ways to kill them. And then of course, once you've had the time to actually craft a gun, you know, you can just do it the old-fashioned way. Shoot them right in the bloody head. That's another way to do it. So surviving's not too difficult. The more difficult part is once you start having a base. Once you have a base set up, that's when the enemies really start coming. So until you've got some materials gathered up, I actually don't recommend really making a base. Kinda just be a nomad and gather materials. Run around at night break and just run around, and you can avoid a lot of the enemies just by running around gathering materials, because your actual health won't decline in this atmosphere at nighttime. Only your shields will, if you have shields. And you can't really have shields until you have armor that gives you shields, as far as I know. So that's not too big of a worry. But once you do have all those materials and minerals, then go for it. Make yourself a nice base and go all out, man. If some of you guys make some cool stuff, I'd be happy. I'd love to see it. Show me what you guys have made in the comment section, or drop any comments below of anything you'd like to see me build and make. I'd be happy to do it. But yeah, the sky's the limit so far. And I'm not going to try to give you guys any spoilers, but there's actually some cool stuff scattered around the map. There's bases created by the developers that are abandoned, so to speak. They're just really cool to look at. So yeah, explore around, build yourself a nice base, Eden kit, start out, get some materials gathered up, and go on exploring. See what you can find. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's enough to get you guys started in this cool new beta upgrade. Hope to see more from the developers in the upcoming updates. And as new stuff comes out, I will show you guys some more stuff. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to see. Cheers!